Hi everyone, Katerina here. Today I'm sharing my first Valentine's card of this year. So this one I called the W Heart Valentine card, and it's such a lovely fun fold to make, you'll see. I called it W Heart because it came from a card originally called a WV shaped card, which you can find anywhere on Pinterest, on Instagram, or YouTube. Anywhere you type in, you'll get loads of examples for that. However, I changed it over to a heart shape, so you'll see why in a wee minute. I will explain exactly. So to make this card, we need two pieces of cardstock. I'm using red. One measures 10.5 by 6 inches, and I'm scoring this one down at 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. And I'd like to do this on both sides. And the other piece of cardstock measured just 6 by 6 inches. I don't need to do any scoring on that one. The reason I scored it on both sides is because I'm folding this into a concertina fold. So I'm alternating the valley and the mountain folds on this one to get this lovely W shape, as you can see. The 1/2 inch tab on the right hand side I'm going to add my glue to, and this is how I'm going to attach my 6 by 6 inches of piece of cardstock onto this piece. So this will give me my card base, which will be the W part of the WV shape, as you can see in a wee second in here, just like so. Now, the original idea behind this card that I've seen was a piece of note card or a piece of cardstock folded in half and glued onto the concertina fold, just like that, giving you the W and the V shape. I'm going to replace that with a different shape today. To do my card, make my card, I'm going to use the Lipsticks Basics paper pad from the range I got quite a couple of years ago. I can't remember exactly when, but I still have it in my stash, so I thought it would be a lovely way to use it up. To mat and layer my card, I need a mat that is the black cardstock in there, 5 3/4 inches squared, and the pattern papers 5.5 inches squared. And for the concertina part, I need 4 pieces of black mat. I'm using 2 3/4 by 5 3/4 of an inch, and the pattern papers are 2.5 by 5.5 inches. I just layer them all up together, and I'm just going to use my Collal glue to glue these onto my card base. Using the Collal glue will leave this such a nice, lovely, sturdy, real good quality feel to it card. And if Valentine's Day crafting is not something that you like to do not worry. At the end of this tutorial, I will show you tons of other examples of this shaped card using different dies and different ways of decorating this other than Valentine's Day. Please stay tuned so I can show you all those gorgeous cards. I really enjoyed making this fold and I got carried away, so I will have quite a few examples to show you at the end of this video for all different occasion, all different color combinations. Now, of course, to decorate cards like this, you can use any techniques that you want. I chose to go with some pattern papers today because I really wanted to use up some of the pattern papers that I have in my stash, let it be paper pads or digital files that I don't get to use that often, or ones that I love using. You'll see at the very end. I hope you stay until then. Having used the Collal glue for all these mats and layers, it takes a little while for this to dry, so I'm just going to set this aside to give it a chance to dry nice and straight without moving all the different layers. And until that happens, I will show you what I used. This is the heart-shaped nesting dies by Creative Craft Products, which I got on Craft Stash. And I chose one that measures just a tiny bit under 5 inches, 4 7/8 on the widest point. And I cut out 2 of these of the exact same red cardstock I used for the card base. The next size down of the die set, I cut out this pattern paper with, and I used the paper from the same paper pad, the Lipsticks Basics. And I'm going to glue this on top of one of those red hearts. I'm going to use these 2 heart shapes now to create my little note card, or so to speak, for the front of my card. I'm taking the one I didn't attach the pattern paper to, and about 3/4 of an inch from the right hand side in, I'm going to score down, and I like to do this on 2 sides again. I'm going to add glue just to that little hinge that I created at 3/4 of an inch of a tab. And this is what I'm going to use to attach my front heart shape to. Now, because these are symmetrical dies, it's very easy to line these up, but if you're using non-symmetrical dies, you would need to be mindful what way you're attaching this to each other. So I'm going to give this just a little second to dry as well before attaching it to my card base. So it is the last and the front, the very first and the very last of the concertina fold that I will be using to glue these heart shapes to. So once I lined it up where I want this heart to go, I'm just adding a bit of glue onto the piece of the heart that I know will be attached to that card base. I don't want the glue to be oozing out onto the parts that I'll not be using for attaching it to my concertina fold. And again, the same thing in here. I'm just adding a bit of glue onto the right hand side and then on the card base where I know it will be covered up, just like so. I left the decorating nice and simple for this. I cut out the word love 3 times of red cardstock, layered them on top of each other, and I heat embossed it using the Tinsel Red Paper Mania embossing glitter. I also cut out that shadow for it using vellum just to tone down the hearts in the background a little bit behind the word. And I printed out the word you and I cut it down just a small size and layered it up with some red cardstock to have everything nice and matching. Now I don't have any dies to cut out the word love, so I just use my silhouette die cutting machine, but you might have anything in your stash that you want to use. You might want to use some stamps to color in and decorate, or some die cuts, flowers. There's so many options that you can do. So I'm layering up the word you just on a bit of a foam pad. And this is, as I said, printed, but of course, if you have any stamps, you can stamp the word you out with those as well. You might have some Valentine stamps and dies already in your stash. I really don't. It's not something that I craft for very often. I did purchase some little things which I will share with you soon, hopefully in some other videos, but I just don't have anything for this. So what I used to add some further embellishing onto this one is this lovely heart shape rhinestones, which I got from the range. I don't even know when, honestly. I can't remember when did I purchase this. I find it in my stash, and I thought these went just very well. They fit perfectly over the sizes of those black hearts in there, and I'm just going to add I think 3 in here, and random locations, just really adding some glue on top of the black heart, and then I'm going to glue the little heart-shaped rhinestones on top, and I thought they worked perfectly, adding a little bit of a shine to these. I think this was just enough decorations with the very busy pattern papers in there for this card. For the inside, for a message, I'm going to cut out, or I did cut out, a heart shape. The red one is the same size as the pattern paper on the front, and the white one is one bit smaller. So to layer these up perfectly behind my card front, I'm going to add glue onto that red one, line it up on the back of that heart that I already attached to my card base, and fold the back of the card over. This way I made sure that it is lined up perfectly behind it, and it will not show when the card is closed up. This heart is the smaller heart and white. I just use removable tape in here just because I don't want to write a message, or I don't know what sentiment I will be putting on this yet, but I will be able to remove that to do that. Also, to write a message, you could cut out a piece of square cardstock of 5 3/4 an inch and attach it to the back of your card base, and you could also add your message in there. Just how lovely this card turned out. So you can see how I changed the original W V shape into a W heart shape of a card. And as I said, I will show you some different examples in here. So this next one is the original shape, the W V shape, which was what I seen online in all different sizes and all different color combinations. I made mine more of like a masculine type. So I haven't got any sentiment in there. It's only temporarily attached in there, as you can see. No sentiment, no decorations. That's all I will have to add once I'm ready to give this card. The little note card that I used on the front measures 4 by 4 inches. And again, I just used a paper pad from my stash. to decorate that card with. This one is so gorgeous. Again, one of the paper pads from my stash, and I used oval dies to decorate this one, and I also used a decorative oval dies. These are all from Craft Stash from the Creative Craft range, and I think it's called the filigree oval die, that one, which is, by the way, cut out of white glitter cardstock. It's just quite subtle shine. It doesn't show up much on this video. This one is a hexagonal one, again using rose gold glitter cardstock and a paper pad from the range by Art Studio, which also has that lovely rose glittery detail on the hexagons, on the back, on the black cardstock, and some shiny gold foil detail on the front. This next card is a lovely star-shaped one. Now, originally I wanted to use a bigger star, however, I didn't want to cover up all that lovely paper in the background. So these papers are digital papers from my laptop called Winter Wonderland. And this is the card shape that actually I made first using a bigger star, different papers, but I can't share that one just yet. In due time I will. But on this one, with a smaller star, it looks just as beautiful, would be perfect for a seasonal winter. For this one, you do not need any dies at all. I used paper strips on this one, and I attached them to the back of the concertina foil before adding the matte layer. I thought the paper strips in there looked just odd, so I changed it about a bit. So these paper strips or cardstock strips measure 1 inch by 4.5, and I created those from 1 inch by 9 inches folded in half, again using one of my paper pads in my stash and some holographic cardstock. I do have visions for this, for a stamped and die cut floral image on the front. I think it would look just absolutely perfect. For this next super glittery card, I used a digital collection designed by Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and it's called The Purple World. Both the papers, the pattern papers, and the flowers are from that same collection. Just so gorgeous. So I used the heart-shaped die again, although this heart is not the one I used before. This is the heart lace die set from Chloe's Creative Cards. And it has two different sizes for the base I could have used, but the large one was too big for this card, so I used the smaller ones and the lacy front at the to decorate it. Pink shell glitter is what I used on the background of that heart, and loads of crystalline glitter on all of those flowers. It's just super sparkly. I will try to show you some close-ups at the end of this tutorial of all that gorgeousness. So those little hearts you can see, I also used the pink shell glitter, and once it was dry, I also added glossy accents to make them into lovely embellishments. I used this die set from, I think I got this on Amazon, and it cuts out lovely heart shapes like this, which would be so lovely in bouquets and all. And I thought it was just a perfect addition. This card is made for a lady who loves hearts and flowers, and I will be adding a number on the other side of that heart, as this one is going for a very special birthday, and I will stamp my sentiment onto the back of that using some purple embossing powder. How gorgeous is this? I really love this card. I think it is just stunning with all that gorgeous glitter. It really is my favorite one, I think. I love glitter, I love shine, and I absolutely love that paper collection from Monica's. I will link to it in the description box below. So here I am showing you all the cards that I made. Please comment in the description box below which one is your favorite. I know most of these are not fully decorated yet. I will be adding flower sentiments or what it is that I will be using these for. I thought it was just a lovely way using up some paper pads from my stash, because I have tons that I never get to use. And this way I have cards in my stash ready to go whenever I need them. So here are some close-ups of some of these cards that I made. So this is the one that we made in the tutorial today. I love it. And this one is the super glittery one, which is going for a very special birthday. I really hope you loved today's cards and enjoyed watching today's tutorial, and if you did, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so. More importantly, hit the notification bell to make sure you'll get notified anytime I upload new videos. I do plan to come in with a couple videos a week, one midweek, one over the weekend, and if I do have extra time, I will upload some extra videos as well. I really am grateful for you for watching this video. I really hope I see you soon. Thank you and bye.